Hey everybody, it's Lori. Welcome back to my Zone 5A garden. This is one of my favorite longest lasting irises is Boysenberry Buttercup. I've had this one probably for maybe 12 years or so. Puts out lots of blooms. It's very tall. I've moved with it. I've taken a couple of rhizomes and I have tons. In fact, I really need to remove some. In the bee balm back there, I have to show you, we have a rabbit making a little home back here. They've stuffed it, it's near our dryer vent. I don't really want to disturb the rabbit, but it is near my hose reel. And so it makes it a little hard because when I need to get it, I come by close to this. And I did scare the mom away, but hopefully she'll be back. And continuing on are some of the other irises. There is Batik. This is probably my favorite one, the Batik. I just love the color of this one. It's so beautiful. I love the veining on it. And then next to that, a couple other different kinds. Sorry for the sun here. This is the White Immortality Iris. This is a reblooming iris. It has never rebloomed for me, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or not, but it's so beautiful. And then in front of that are some other smaller irises. And I I don't know what this is. I think it's an allium, but I'm not sure. I have forgotten. I put it in and now I can't remember what it was, but it's been quite a few years, so I can't remember. But here's my other, I call this the miscellaneous iris because I don't know what kind it is. I got rhizomes at a garage sale and there they are. This bed is really greening up. The alliums have all started blooming. I love these are purple sensation alliums. I love them. They're just such fun pom-poms. And the bees go crazy on these too. The rhododendron is starting to pop out its blooms a little early. Usually that's first part of June. And then look off where I put my tippy pots. Here's more boysenberry buttercup. I have been slowly moving irises over to the shadier spot and trying to see where the blooms stop happening, where they don't get enough sun, and they still get it here. These are really tall, quite tall. I'd say 3.5 feet tall maybe. And the blooms are enormous. And see how big they are. It's actually fragrant too. And back over in this bed, the silene is just a real workhorse. Boy, I am loving that plant. And there's my tippy pots. I just have to get another shot of these. There's only 3 plants, 3 silene plants that I put in last fall, and they just got that big in just since the fall. So these tippy pots have Supertunia Vista silver bells. So I'm going to see how they do here. It gets some angled sun. It's not full sun, but it's very dry here. I do have a soaker hose in here because it's just very dry. It's under a canopy of trees, but the sun comes in an angle and hits it. But the Supertunia Vistas, I've never tried them before, and they're supposed to be quite prolific bloomers, and everybody seems to love them. So we'll give it a shot. Here's a close-up of a little allium. It's a little mutant allium. I don't know why it shot out that little funny little thing here. It's like a little happy bloomer. And more of the miscellaneous iris. It's a very delicate flower. And these take a little bit more shade too. And the back shade bed, which is really greening up really nicely. Lots of hooker in there. The hostas are getting large. For someone who doesn't really care for hostas all that much, I have a lot. I don't mulch this bed. This is all leaves from the honey locust tree that we have that just is 3 seasons of mess, and I just leave most of the leaves. Lots of astilbe here. And I just planted some coleus in here. I have so much coleus that I grew from seed. This is chocolate covered cherry. It's a little small. It's colder here now. The nights are still pretty chilly in zone 5A. We actually last week got down to 26. It was so cold. So everything had to come back in that I was hardening off. But I'm going to be putting in lots more coleus all around in here. I have some of the black dragon in place. And these are my heucheras. They tend to get frost heave and they pop out of the ground in the winter. That's why some of these are a little on the smaller side. I mean, they've been in there for probably 4 or 5 years and they're still kind of small. Here's the shade bed from the other side. More hostas. I still need to get that spice bush, which I have not put in. Lots and lots of violets. My cohosh. Some lady's mantle. I did put in some corydalus down there, but it's too small to see. And over here, this bed, this is full of landscape rocks, and it's just kind of a mess, and I don't really do a whole lot with it, but I put in these painted ferns, and they seem to be fine. And so I put in the little impatiens that I grew from seed. There should be some other bare root ferns coming up if they last, if they made it. Here's this giant hosta. It's quite old, and look at those leaves. Aren't they huge? I've never divided this. And again, I don't even know how old it is. It was here when we moved in, which has been 9 years now. And it was there well before that, too. And when you look over here, you can see that the new garden bed, which is getting things put in it. Over here, my reblooming lilac smells fantastic. I've got more of the perennial bachelor buttons, the centaurea. This is amethyst and snow. It's my favorite. I love this color combination. It's just amazing. I have 2 of these plants. The one next to it is not blooming, but it's blue. And these ones are this beautiful amethyst with a white ring. Oh, I love this plant. And the peonies and climbing roses. Oh, and my little garter snake friend. He was slithering around the garden beds. It's kind of big for a spring snake. But along this area, we've got the butterfly apartment complex, I guess. There's milkweed there. I also have some dill and cilantro and parsley that's going in here. I also have some Asclepias, some of those in there as well. So hopefully I'll see some caterpillars this year. I had one monarch caterpillar. The milkweed's new. So I'm really trying to focus more on getting the caterpillars to come in. But everything's really greening up. Here's my baptisia. Look at the blooms that are going to be on this soon. This is a blue one, and holy moly, it's got a lot of buds on it. It's going to look amazing. And more alliums. I sprinkled them in all over the place, and they're not really long-lived, but they're so pretty. Here's just one all by itself. Here's another view of that backing up from this allium into this bed. It's grown quite a bit over the last week with warmer temperatures. I have a lot of campanula that's throwing up lots and lots of bud stalks. And I do need to trim the forget-me-not. Over here, it's a little bit of a mess. We have a birdhouse here, right there by the fence. I don't know if you can see it. We've seen some wrens coming in and out of that, and I don't want to disturb them. So I do need to clean up that leaf pile back there, but I don't want to bother them while they're trying to make a nest. So we'll see if they stay. I do need to trim this forget-me-not. At least it covers up the allium foliage as it's yellowing, so Speaking of birds, here's a quick blip of a cardinal while I was filming. And this is the bed right below that bird feeder. It's got coleus in it. I just planted the black dragon and the rainbow volcano, and another the amethyst and snow centaurea. I hope you'll stay tuned as these beds grow. I'd love to have you subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Have a great day.